Japan is breaking its own radioactive records as huge amounts of beta-ray emitting substances have been discovered at another reactor at the crippled Fukushima power plant. Meanwhile, the government says the decontamination work scheduled to be completed by March may take another 3 years. And for more, we're now joined live by Alex Kerr, an expert on Japan. Mr. Kerr, welcome to RT. Very nice to see you. So we've had numerous reports about leaks there in Fukushima Daiichi, and now we're hearing about a fresh one. From your point of view, why they're not able to cope with all that?
Well, this is one in a long series. It's an ongoing story. And the real problem is that the government has spent so much energy in hiding the information that at this point, I think it's fair to say that nobody knows what's really going on.
We know that Japan won Olympic Games, but there are so many activists in the world who have some sort of health concerns about it. Do you think that their worries are justified?
I don't think their worries are justified in the sense that it's going to impact Tokyo. So I think that people could come freely to the Games and not worry about it. But that area of Japan, Fukushima Prefecture and the areas around it, are going to be seriously affected for decades, or maybe a century. Parts of it will be pretty much permanently unlivable. Not to mention the fears that we have of the radioactivity that's flowing into the ocean. And no one can imagine what the long-term effects are going to be on sea life and many other things.
There have been media reports that the containment tanks that have been leaking there were built by inexperienced employees who basically were rushing to build them. Does that suggest that there are lots more secrets we don't know about?
Well, of course, because the entire system of management of TEPCO, in fact, of the entire nuclear industry of Japan, has been to rely on unskilled, uneducated, and unspecialist daily workers, guys that they pick up off the street and are brought in and paid a daily wage, who wouldn't have some of them don't even realize they're going into a radioactive circumstance. It's not professional. It's a comedy of errors, and the tanks are just one of many structures that were built hurriedly, without expertise, without consulting international specialists. It's fair to say that it's a big mess and it will get worse.
Experts say Japan is obviously failing to safely clean up the plant and needs help from outside. Do you agree?
I do agree. I think it's very difficult for Japan to do that for reasons of national pride, and also because as soon as you bring in the outsiders, it upsets this thing that they call the nuclear village. That's a term we use in Japan for the scientists, the academics, the bureaucrats, the politicians, and the contractors and the operators. These cozy, interrelated situations where anyone who comes in from outside and demands a certain amount of openness and professionalism will upset that nice situation. So it's very difficult to actually bring them in and make use of them.
Alex Kerr, expert on Japan. Mr. Kerr, thank you very much indeed for that. We appreciate it.